Take it away from Brooklyn, friend.
Elle, thank you so much. We'll get to that Ace Bailey conversation because it's been all the buzz, especially in the pre-draft conversations and interviews and workouts. As we are here on the ABC set, joined by Stephen A. Smith and Bob Myers. They will join me at 8 o'clock Eastern as we highlight the journey of 30 young men and their families to get to this moment at the Barclays Center. Let's talk about Cooper Flagg and his moment here, Stephen A. Yeah. Especially joining a Mavericks team. Listen, there's no doubt the Mavericks are going to say Cooper Flagg is going to be the #1 pick, and we're going to hear Adam Silver shake the hands and see him shake the hands of the Duke product. Then he joins this team. How does that change the balance of power in the West when you look at the additions of the Mavericks and who they have when they're healthy?
Well, him alone doesn't do it. Kyrie Irving's got to get back. Anthony Davis has to stay healthy. You got to remember the Dallas Mavericks last year only had about 3 players that played 60 games or more. Everybody else, obviously, it was significantly less because they were one of the top 5 injured teams in all of basketball. But Cooper Flagg is the real deal. Make no mistake about it. He's built like a small forward. He's a legit 6'8", 6'9" player with an inside game, an outside game, an open court game, a perimeter game. He's got the whole package. Led Duke in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and block shots. He is something special to behold, and he plays on both sides of the ball. So when you think about what he brings to the equation, the fact that you sent away Luka Doncic, and this is now clearly the face of this franchise, that motor that's on him, the face of the franchise, the marketability of this guy, it's going to get everybody up on their toes because all eyes are going to be on the Dallas Mavericks. And I think when healthy, if you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, the one team that gave them trouble a couple of years ago when they were the #1 seed, and this past season when they were the #1 seed, was the Dallas Mavericks, with or without Luka Doncic in the lineup. I think about that, and I say if the Dallas Mavericks are healthy, they could easily ascend to being the favorites in the Western Conference.
Yeah, look, if you're in the Western Conference, it's already competitive. It's much more so than the East. It's really, the balance has even become more prominent in the West with all the injuries. Now we're going to talk about that in the East. There's not a player in the draft that any GM was worried about going anywhere to affect winning besides Cooper Flagg. So if you're a competitor in the West and you're competing with the Dallas Mavericks, that's the time of the draft, that draft lottery where you just said, are you serious? Like the Mavs got Cooper Flagg. Because the Mavs are good, right? The Mavs are a very good team. They traded Luka. We saw what happened, but they lost Kyrie, and that's when they really started going sideways. Anthony Davis is one of the best centers in the league.
Without question.
I mean, he's top 2, 3, for sure. And then you got Kyrie Irving, who went healthy, and he's supposed to come back.
Yeah.
And they have a deep team.
Yep.
And now you got Cooper Flagg, who helps you win, and you've added him. So they're a force now in the West.
And then Lively and Gafford, you got the defense behind him, and then Cooper Flagg's ability to play defense. Let's talk about it. And Elle brought it up, Ace Bailey. The only U.S. prospect to not work out for any of the teams here in this draft process. As a former GM, what does that tell you about a player as you try to figure things out and try to line things up? Because he's projected as the 3rd best prospect in this draft, and the Sixers pick 3rd.
Well, it has me concerned, Kevin. I just got to figure out how much, right? Because it's easier when a guy shows up, looks in the eye, says he wants to be there. That makes you feel good. You're committing guaranteed money. Right? This is $20, $30 million of guaranteed money. This is an opportunity to pick very high. He's going to go high wherever he goes. He's going to go, I think, somewhere between 3 and 6. But when you don't, you want that comfort level as a GM. It's like a job interview. You want somebody to tell you, I want to come to work for you. We're getting the inverse of that where the guy's saying, I don't know if I want to come work for you. Now, my question with Ace is maybe he's got a place he wants to go, and they've promised him something. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what's fascinating about Ace. A lot of times when you see a player like this say, I'm not meeting with anybody, they have a home.
Yeah.
And they've had a secret workout with somebody. In this case, I'm wondering if he's kind of like, I didn't even do that. I'm not working out for anybody. And then you have to value this. How much does the workout actually matter? I tell you this, if you ask any GM now, it matters a lot less than you think. Because you saw these guys play all year. You saw him play 20, 30 times. So at this point, it's something where you should be comfortable if you're going to take it.
Here's what I'm going to tell you why it does matter. Granted, the actual workout itself, Bob, you would know that better than most, and we get that part. The flip side to it is that an attitude.
Yeah.
Like, You just got here. You're a baby at this. You're wearing diapers on this level. And before you had an opportunity to pass gas, here you are trying to dictate what somebody is going to do, who you're going to work out for, you're not going to work out for. That absence of capitulation should be something that concerns any team, because you did that before you got paid, before they made an investment in you. So what about once they do make the investment in you and your money's guaranteed and you're locked into a commitment from them? You don't just get paid for potential. You don't just get paid for what you've done. You get paid because somebody trusts that whatever they believe you can deliver, you will go all out to validate their investment in you. And when you're that young and people are already questioning that, I'm not saying he's doing a good or bad thing, because it could be on the advice of experts, his legal team or whomever, that are his agent or whomever that's advising him to do this. So I'm not trying to point the finger of blaming him, but ultimately the onus will fall on his shoulders, because they're looking at you. Yeah. And they're saying, excuse me, you're not a toddler. You 18 plus years old. You making your own
nobody else
decision.
is doing it, Stephen.
Nobody else is doing it. And that's where it becomes problematic.
I will add that a year ago it happened. We saw something similar. Alex Sarr said, I'm not going to the Hawks. I'm not going to work out. And then he fell to number 2, which he wanted to, and the destination was the Wizards.
But that's him saying, I wasn't going to work out for a particular team. This guy hasn't worked out for
anybody.
Teams.
It makes you wonder, like you guys said,
right.
Does he have a promise? We're talking about a young man who's 18, averaging 18 points and 7 rebounds at Rutgers. And then there it is, Cooper Flagg, the projected #1 pick. Going to hear his name, of course, called 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Back to you.